Hi, one of the most important skills you can instill in your staff is fast learning and having a culture of fast learning. This video talks about these skills that your IT security administrators will be left behind in the next 24 months if they don't understand the core fundamentals of Windows Admin Center. And I might add, it's moving so fast into the cloud that you have to double the investment in training and really make sure people understand about how they need to revamp their skills moving forward. I hope you enjoy this video. Bye.
And so here's a really good example of change. How many of you have rolled out the Windows Admin Center? Anybody's engineers even told them it's coming? Okay, so this has been around for a while. It literally changes how IT administrators do their job. It also is the only Microsoft administrative platform that's going to get any development going forward. So all of the GUI tools, they're going to die. All of the old ways of doing things, they're going to die. Everything is. And what's nice about this is built with the idea that says you might be at AWS, you might be at Azure, you might be on-premise, you might have remote sites. We don't care. This is how it works. I was recently at the Microsoft conference talking with the product manager here. It was really cool because he said, and guess what? The entire download is 45 megs. And so I looked at him and was like, does it work? If it's only 45 megs, let's play with that a little bit. But in reality, what they presented here is not so much a new admin overlay as much as the fact that at the core, Windows 10, 2016, 2019 OSs, it's built into the kernel. So this is just the tool to get you into the kernel. They've already changed the operating systems from the ground up. And I had to add, this is Microsoft sample because I'm not going to let you do HTTPS to a control thing directly from the internet. You just can't have that one. But as an example, well, if you guys have been talking with your administrators a lot, people are messing with updates, virtual machines, services, roles and features, remote desktop, event logs, local users, every tool that every IT person opens MMC for this and administrator tool for that, it's all right here. Okay? And what's interesting is this really is the management interface of the future. It even works with hyper-converged. It'll help control all the hyper-converged deployments out there. So universally, they don't care what type of system it is. And when we look at something like this, you guys can probably remember 10, 12 years ago, we probably would have paid 100 grand for some system that would sit there and overlay all of our servers and let us look at everything in a consolidated control panel. I will add, this is free. This just is how Microsoft works. That's probably another thing that no one really spoke about was we don't have to go buy it. It comes with the operating systems. We already bought them. It just works. You're not paying per node you want to manage or anything like that. It's just Microsoft has changed how you need to administrate your environments. And so here's a good example of something hard made easy. So a lot of times we'll get asked to triage and say, who did what on my server? And the first thing that happens is you go try to figure out who logged into the server. And then most people's networks are a little bit messy, everyone's, right? And you end up sifting through thousands and thousands of logs of files and trying to figure out what connected to what and where is it and how is it and what is it. And then you try to separate out, well, what were administrative actions versus users just logging in, looking up a name, attaching to a file, things like that. This is a good example where if you adapt to the Windows Admin Center, all of those actions actually go through the Admin Center, and therefore can be categorized differently than your users. So let's take this as it pertains to security. We talk about malware, right? We talk about ransomware. We talk about behavioral analytics. Well, one of the things that usually kills that is administrators act like viruses. They touch a lot of machines. They touch a lot of files. That's their job. But if your administrative control goes through a different channel, now your systems that are adapting and learning and figuring out what normal behavior is can tell the difference between JP as the user versus JP doing administrative actions, regardless of whether it's a super user account or not. So this is a very interesting thing because in a lot of environments, this can be hundreds of hours of work to try to figure out what was the root cause of XYZ. It would be nice if it was just clean. Some of these pieces, by the way, have been available since 2012 came out, which is actually quite a long time ago.